Some wars are stupider than others.
Well, let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
Humans have been fighting each other since the beginning of history.
Sad fact.
And some wars have actually been good wars. I would say the American Revolution, World War I, World War II, Kanye versus Taylor. We're talking about good quality fights. But you know what? There's a lot of really stupid wars out there too. Dumb wars. Wars that shouldn't have been fought. And when you find out why they started these wars, you'll be like, what are people thinking? And we're gonna find out how well you think about these things today.
How male I am. Yeah. Pretty male.
How male are you today, Link? As 100%. We play War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing, except being the subject of this game. Okay, Link.
That was nice. That was a nice little ditty.
Here's your first question. These are fill in the blanks. If you get 4 out of 8, that's just 50%. You get a special war prize.
Oh, really? I get a war prize?
A war prize.
All right. I have the questions here. I don't have the answers here. Some people are like, he's looking at the answers. I don't look at I don't have the answers. He does in his brain, I think.
The 335 years war between the Netherlands and the Isle of Scilly lasted 335 years without any blanks.
Without any accidents. You know how like factories will put up a sign, it's like 43 days since our last incident. Mm-hmm. I meant changing my answer to incident.
Without any incident?
No.
Please be more specific, Link.
No.
Please be more specific.
I'm gonna say, as weird as it sounds, I'm gonna say casualties.
Link, the correct answer is casualties.
Yes, I love wars without casualties.
I was gonna let you say deaths, but you got casualties. I feel like giving you 2 points, but I'm not.
Do it.
I'm not gonna give you 2 points.
Come on. You got a pocket full of points, give me 2.
This is really weird though, because they didn't even know that there was a war going on. Oh, please don't touch my nipple.
I'm not touching your nipple, I'm touching your pocket.
My nipple is right under my pocket.
Well, I thought there were points in there.
I like to keep them to myself. They didn't know that a war had been declared, but they went ahead and signed a peace treaty in 1986, after all this time, just to make sure that they were cool. Want to sign a peace treaty. I'd really like to sign a peace treaty with my imaginary friend, Clarence. Clarence, you know what you did? In 1932, Australia got into a nuisance wildlife management military operation with a mob of birds. It was known as the Great Blank War. The Great Blank War.
Got into a war with birds?
Maybe.
Mob of birds. I'm gonna say the Great Bird Poop War.
Really?
Feces.
Feces is poop.
Bird poop.
Feces is poop.
Because the birds were pooping everywhere in Australia in 32.
Great guess, incorrect. It was the Great Emu War.
Emu?
You had an emu problem because historians say that the emus were coming in and destroying the farmers' wheat crops, and then the government stepped in and said, we gotta handle this.
War on emus.
But you know,
Reagan did that.
A little birdie told me, actually a big birdie because it was an emu, told me that the real reason the war started is because an emu insulted an Australian officer and said, your mama's so ugly. That her shadow said, I can't do this anymore.
Talking emu. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, with your mama jokes.
With jokes.
Out the wazoo.
That's great.
Yeah.
Clarence on the back of the emu?
In 1925, a war was started between Greece and Bulgaria when a Greek soldier was shot crossing enemy lines while chasing after his blank.
Oh.
Chasing after his blank. Somebody's got to do it.
Pride. Nope. Donkey. Nope. Dog. Pet. I know it's a pet. I'm gonna say his dog.
You're psychic.
No.
The answer is dog, Link. He chased after his dog.
Man,
That's correct.
I can see it happening. In my brain.
The war did not last long because they realized they were fighting over a dog. And the interesting thing is the dog actually looked like this.
Oh! Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's a great picture for 1925, don't you think?
They taxidermized the dog?
No, that's a living dog.
What?
That's not a taxidermized dog. That is the dog that ran into the freaking field, man.
I don't get it, man.
In the year it's not a taxidermized dog.
Oh, it's just a scary looking dog.
It's an ugly dog.
Why would you risk life and limb for that dog?
Oh, you get it now.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it right. I don't have to get your joke right.
Why would you chase after a taxidermized dog? You wouldn't. You're right.
I thought they preserved it, dude.
In the year 1900, 3,000 lives were lost when British troops went to war with soldiers from the Ashanti Empire after Sir Frederick Mitchell Hodgson demanded to sit on the Royal Ashanti Golden Blank.
Throne. He wanted to sit. You just can't roll into Ashanti's empire and sit on her throne. Mm-hmm. Throne. That's my answer.
I don't know if I should give it to you because the technical correct answer is stool.
Stool?
There's no sides to it, no back to it. It was just a stool.
Well, did the queen or king sit on it?
It was actually a sacred thing that they didn't let anybody sit on. And when the pasty British man put his white butt on it, they were like, "This thing is going to be desecrated," and they went to war.
You know
Should
what?
I give you? Should I give
I don't
you
even
credit
want
for that?
I don't want it. I don't want it because I'm so abhorred.
Okay.
Is that the right word?
Yeah. Right. Abhorred.
I abhor it.
Okay.
I abhor it.
But it does remind me of the time I was at a party at Ashanti's house, and Ja Rule came up to me and said, "Hey, that's my stool."
Ashanti.
In 1738, British mariner Robert Jenkins presented his... You like my Ja Rule impersonation? I worked on it for at least 10 minutes. Hey, that's my stool. In 1738...
What? It sounded like DMX.
Hey, but it kind of sounds the same. In 1738, British mariner Robert Jenkins presented a severed body part to Parliament and instigated the War of Jenkins Blank between England and Spain.
Robert Jenkins presented his severed... I wonder if it was his Robert. You know what I mean?
His Robert?
Robert's Robert. I'm going to say finger. Ear. I'm going to say ear.
What is your answer?
I'm going to keep saying this until I see it in your eye that I was right. I'm going to say
What's your final answer?
Finger.
You should have said ear because ear was the correct answer. It actually took 8 years for them to start the war. For some reason, it took them 8 years to realize that maybe we should go to war over this.
And 10 years to grow back an ear.
But it's actually not the only war that's ever been fought over a body part. In 1994, there was also the War of Tommy McThompson's third nipple. It was just a fight at Harnett Central.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember they pointed out that third nipple and he got so pissed.
Yeah.
The Blank War between England and the United States was triggered by the shooting of a delicious farm animal. The Blank War between England and the United States was triggered by the shooting of a delicious farm animal.
Is it pig, chicken, chicken egg? Chicken egg war.
Wow.
Let's call it the pig war. I'm going to go with pig. That is a delicious animal.
Link, you did it again. It is the pig war.
It is.
The war broke out when an Irishman's pig ate an American man's potatoes. And I'm talking about his actual potatoes, like he was growing.
Well, yeah.
And then he shot the pig, and that started the whole war. So it's actually also known as the pig episode, and the pig and potato war, and the pig and potatoes. That sounds good. I should try that on a burrito, or at least in a casserole war. The last one's a little long.
But it's a good point.
I saw it on Wikipedia, though. A 10-month war broke out in New Zealand when British troops continuously raised their blank while the native population continually cut it down.
Cut it down.
Cut it down.
I was thinking a tree, but how do you raise a tree?
You plant it and wait.
Well, 10 months. That's not a tall tree.
No, a bamboo, though.
Bamboo.
Bamboo is very big in New Zealand.
Okay, so you're giving me the answer.
Mm-hmm. Bamboo crop.
I'm going to say raise their children, raise their
children.
Banner? Flag. Raise their flag.
Now, is this the flag tree or just an actual flag?
Flag pole.
Flag pole.
They raise the whole pole.
You're right, Link. The answer is flag.
Woo!
Which that means that you just got 4.
And I get a prize?
You do get a prize. Do you want to do the last one just for kicks?
Give me the last one, but
Just
give me
for
the prize.
kicks?
Give me the prize first.
You want to hold the prize for the last one?
I want to hold the prize
that could be
for
dangerous.
the last one.
All right, let's bring in the prize.
One more question.
Link. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh,
I'm going
snap.
to ask you to multitask. This is an instrument of war, Link. It is a real sword, and it is very sharp. Don't touch it. Don't touch the end, man. You can't. It'll mess up the finish.
Really?
Yeah, just touch this.
Don't touch this. All right. Here we go for the last
Listen, please don't hurt me or me.
What about me?
Well, I mean, that's up to you.
That's up to you.
Actually, it's up to you whether or not you hurt me as well.
All right, this is just gravy, man.
Yes. For gravy, do we have gravy? Get some gravy.
Get me some gravy!
While at war with Turkey, speaking of gravy, Austria. What are the chances?
I could have inhaled this whole sword if I'd have sucked harder.
Austria,
I'm
please
glad that
don't
didn't
do
happen.
that.
Be like,
Austria.
whoop, it just would have gone down.
Austria suffered 10,000 casualties when one group of Austrian soldiers got blank with dancing nomads and started shooting at another group of Austrian soldiers they thought were Turkish.
Austrian soldiers getting fresh with dancing nomads.
It could happen. I mean, they're dancing and they're nomads.
Started
Got two things
shooting
going
at
for
one.
them.
Yeah, there's no dancing like nomadic dancing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
Ain't no dancing like nomadic
Nomadic
dancing,
dancing.
and nobody dances
Like
nomadically. That's my final answer.
Fresh?
Fresh.
Link, I'm gonna get all the gravy to myself.
Really?
Because the answer is drunk. They got
Drunk!
They got drunk with dancing
Be
nomads.
responsible!
Started shooting at each other, but it doesn't
The
really
Austrian
matter
soldiers?
because Link, you won the sword, and you can experiment with that in Good Mythical More. Please don't hurt yourself or me. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
You know what time it is.
I'm Tony. I'm Tom. And it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
If you want to see how Kevin and Lizzie procured this amazing sword, you should watch Good Mythical Crew this Saturday on this channel and every Saturday.
Yes, Good Mythical Crew. But right now, click through to Good Mythical More, where we are going to face off in an epic battle of electronic battleship.
What? But not before we crown a new winner.
Congratulations to
The Optimistic. You win a GMM hat. Woo! The miss sound is so pathetic.
Yeah.
It's that guy from Ohio going,